Unbelievable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark our champions!
Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from Game and Frame from blustery Randall's Island, field number 75, where we will feature a First Division matchup on our hands today of significant importance to both sides of the table. The game is Sandzak, and their opponents are New York Ukrainians. Of course, Sandzak begin the day in 4th place on 34 points, on 5 points behind New York International, but with a game in hand. However, the top 4 is quite interesting because Polonia also have a game in hand, and if that game in hand is a victory, they will go back in this ever frantic top 4 in this First Division for, of course, the playoff spots, and of course in first place is the automatic promotion. New York Ukrainians, on the other hand, start the day in 7th and can jump to 6th overnight with a win here today, coming off a 2-2 draw against Corbello on Thursday night. Just something to keep an eye out. How are the legs feeling? Of course, it's quite difficult to play 2 games in 48 or so hours. Of course, the first match of the season was a 3-1 victory between the two sides for Sandzak in a match that was played on October 6th at McCarran Park. Of course, all to play for in this frantic division. Lots of melodrama, as we know it very well to be. And of course, just one little parenthesis on today's evening. The next game that Sandzak has after this one is against Polonia. So if you'd like 2 finals today for Sandzak, firstly here, a chance at 3 points, and of course a chance at 3 points for the New York Ukrainians. Stay tuned for kickoff. Welcome back, guys, to Game in Frame. The two sides are about to enter the pitch. Of course, let's just run by the two sides. Of course, Sandzak, who are sporting their white tops with the blue strip, blue shorts, white socks, and of course, New York Ukrainians wearing their red kit with captain Dominic Falanga leading the sides out. Of course, a game that, like we mentioned in the pre-match, of vital importance. Of course, New York Ukrainians, a very dangerous team on their day, can cause real trouble, and of course a couple wins can push them right back into the top four conversation. Of course, there's a lot of football left to be played as the games are dwindling down, but the importance is ramping up. Of course, like we mentioned, also Sandzak, very important game for them today. 3 points on the cards for them in their attempts to catch Polonia and New York Ukrainian atop of the Division 1 table. And of course, like we mentioned in the pre-match as well, their next league game, of course, after the Easter break, we will have no fixtures this coming Sunday, is against Polonia. So in a sense, two finals, if you'd like, for the European side. So it's gonna swap sides again, so that'll mean Sandzak will be attacking from left to right to begin this first half, and vice versa. New York Ukrainians will be attacking from right to left. Of course, a couple absentees for both sides that will run by you. Of course, no Dekanovic today for Sandzak, their center forward. We'll just have a glimmer to see who will lead the line for Sandzak. Of course, as well as, for my eyes, a new signing of Sandzak, the gentleman here in front of us, Gonzalez, with the number 9. Should be a very interesting matchup in some seconds. The referee just nodding to both of his assistants. And we're underway here at Randall's Island Field number 75 as the rain is teeming down. First possession for New York Ukrainians. Federico Corbello in the center of midfield for his side today. First long diagonal service. The captain, in fact, is Andres Bauer. Apologies. Not Dominic Falanga. Dominic Falanga is on the pitch as well, however, with the number 13 on his back. So Bauer and Savovic, of course, as we know, two captains. Possession again for New York Ukrainians. Clever little flick. Makic. Gonzalez made a bursting run down the right-hand side. He wasn't spotted. Corbello line splitting. Najim, intricate. Bauer serves it towards the left-hand side. The bounce is a difficult one. Kirkic. Just assesses that he has a little bit of time to not force anything downfield, and Savovic. Of course, we've seen him play a multitude of positions. Of course, today at center back, long ball forward. Goalkeeper collecting and coming off his line to collect the overhead pass. The goalkeeper, of course, today isn't Robbie Webster. Deputized in the New York Ukrainians goalpost today is Varisko with a green bib on. Referee's actually also wearing green, but blue sleeves is good enough for the eye. Here is Dominic Falanga. The Italian goes infield, locates his center forward Koshruba. Slide tackle and a free kick. Nadim Saki at left back today for the New York Ukrainians. Back it'll go with Sabovic, and furthermore back to Danilo Nivkovic in the Sandzak goal. We'll just locate his captain. Not a real press on from the New York Ukrainians. Good diagonal to find some space on the forehand side. And whistle. It seems as if Sabovic is leading the line, not Mirza Sabovic, not so also Haris Sabovic. It's Sabovic with number 5 on his back, so that goes our answer to our question: who will lead the line in the absence of the center forward. The referee is just going over to have a word with the benches, possibly about something. Of course, just take a moment to clear up what the referee spotted. Of course, Papucci back in the side today, center back partner of Sabovic. Shakreli at right back, as we know very well. Diambera in his usual station on one of the wings, this time elected to be started from the left-hand side. Gonzalez on the right, and Sabovic through the middle. Of course, the triplet in the middle of midfield: Kirkic, Yassir, and Makic. So a 4-3-3 if you'd like, or a 4-2-3-1 for Sandzak. A referee's whistle gets us back after that slight stoppage. Wasn't in play, now it is. It's lumped forward towards Sabovic. Najim controls. Bauer drops his shoulder neatly. And back to center back in Bolkan. Furthermore to the other center back, Saki. Nadim Saki in possession, finds his college teammate, actually, if you'd like, Federico Corbello. 3 ex-St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers on the pitch. Here's a combination of 2. It's just overhit for Falanga. Kirkic poked away. Sabovic with Sakianen finds the winger. Sabovic will win a throw-in. Last off companion. Left for Shakreli. Back it'll go to Sabovic. Deflected off the chest of Koshruba. Kirkic drops the shoulder neatly. Asking for a little bit of movement ahead of him, and drops the shoulder again, and is being hassled by Corbello, who's smart enough not to make a foul. It's out of play, and the throw-in for New York Ukrainians. Good patience by Corbello to stand up his man, and fortunately for Kirkic, ran out of pitch. Thrown in towards Nadim Saki. Companion. Falanga. Back to the left fullback, who goes on to his right foot, and furthermore back to Saki. Reversing again. They're kind of clustered into a corner there, and good press from Sandzak to win a throw-in in New York Ukrainians attacking defensive third, excuse me. Shakreli with length. Another throw-in, probably from about 5 meters ahead of the first one. Probably a similar delivery. Makic's presence in there as well. Sabovic behind them. It's flung in aerially again. Popped into the air by Najib. Somalia trying to get underneath it. Kirkic has gone down. Maybe the play has to stop. He's not offside, and a save. It almost seemed to be a slow motion bit of work there as Kirkic was down. They possibly thought that the ref was going to stop the game. Good advantage in the end. Sabovic got his shot off in the end, and Varisko with the first save of the evening. Bit of lull there in the action, but we will restart, of course, with a drop ball. Varisko balls it out to Saki. Saki awkwardly in the air. Corbello underneath it, the centre back with experience, just nods it back to his goalkeeper. Calm and precise from Volkan. Good tempoed beginning from both sides. Of course, the first half shot, if you'd like, from about a minute or so ago. Sabovic testing Varisko. Back to Volkan. Somalia trying to latch onto it. Clever work, but the flag is risen to stop that foray forward. Throw in for Sandzak on that far hand side. Diombera to take. Kirkic nods it to his fullback, who has to just be careful a bit in possession there. The press was in a tight little area there, but they do well enough to win another throw in just above the halfway line. Diombera again congested in that little 10-15 yard area over there. Towards the captain. Off his shoulder, Makic. Gonzalez has to check his movement, finds his fullback. He doesn't because Falanga intercepts. Falanga teases it forward towards his captain, Bauer. Koshruba's movement ahead of him is a little bit too close to him, and Bauer checks back. Still Bauer. Free kick, well done from the captain. And wins his side a set piece in dangerous area. 12 minutes gone. We remain at 0-0. Falanga, companion from left full back. Referee's flag is down. Serves it towards Nivkovic, and a touch, and it's straight in. But the flag is up. The flag is up to spoil the opening goal for New York Ukrainians. Quickly risen flag at that, has to be said. The service came in from wide, and the touch was from a player in advance of the last line. So a good opportunity for New York Ukrainians. It all began with Bauer's clever work to win that set piece on this left-hand side. Sabovic now, line splitting to Makic. Back to the very experienced Papucci. Sandzak can build something now. Diombera pressed by Somalia. Makic Saki. Corbello, first time around the corner, neatly to Somalia. Slide tackle is bypassed. Somalia driving in, and Papucci. Corbello from distance. Nifkovic assured that it's going to go past his second post and out of play harmlessly for a goal kick. Somalia is just needing a moment to get up after that last 50-50 with Papucci. While we have a moment here in the stoppage of play for Somalia just to get some treatment. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more Game in Frame action tomorrow. We will feature another very important matchup in this Cosmopolitan First Division at 10 a.m. where Polonia will take on Manhattan Kickers. Of course, Polonia pressing for first place. A very important 3 points for them. Furthermore, in the same division, New York International taking on Kid Super Samba 2 at 2 p.m. kickoff. Then at 8 p.m. a APSL matchup, Richmond County will take on Doxa, a very important 3 points for both sides there in the APSL Metropolitan Conference. And finally, your final game is at 8 p.m. The New York Prince Cyprian Freedoms will take on Kid Super Samba at Belson Stadium. As we're back underway with Sabovic in possession. Looks forward and finds Kirkic. Makic around the corner. Is it a little overhit for Gonzalez, who's lengthening his stride to get there, but leaves it back and wins inside a corner kick. Great endeavor by the number 9. A loaded area for Sandzak to attack this dead ball. Everyone bar Koshruba back to defend for the New York Ukrainians. A cluster of players, Makic and company, as Kirkic will whip this in right-footed with outswing. 2 hands risen is the signal. Floats it to the second post. The Umbera underneath it. At the last, there was a little touch to discomfort his attempted towards goal. Somalia runs away with the possession. He just has to find a teammate now and locates his goalkeeper to retain the possession. Saki, Najim, the Cypriot over to Corbello. Balkan. Saki has some space as Makic was just cutting off one side of the pass. And all the way back to the goalkeeper. Sabovic. Kirkic back to Shakreli. Papucci lets it go and receives it again. Really not a lot of movement ahead. Really not a high press from New York Ukrainians. So these moments just to find some intricate passes and draw out the opposing team. Sabovic goes back to Nifkovic, who will lob one over the top towards the Umbera. Koshruba connects. Somalia on the chase, but enough time for the fullback to locate his goalkeeper. Sabovic has to be careful here. Neatly done from Sabovic and Nifkovic. Shakreli. free kick. Sabovic to Makic now. Corbello the furthest forward now in this half press, I guess we can call it. Not really just forcing these type of difficult passes. This was a neat one at that. The Umbero's touch just at the last. Came off the side of his boot. Balkan can drop the shoulder. This is a bit risky, however, but Najim will find Saki. Falanga. Two Terriers connect. Finds the fullback who's finding some meters ahead. Falanga infield. Flat and low. Good build up this from back to front for the New York Ukrainians. Andros Brouwer. Appeals for offside, nothing given, served into the box. Sabovic has time just to cushion. Makic towards Shakreli. Of course, the last result for Sandzak was a 1-1 draw in Hoboken. Laurel Hill Park. Really, when you're chasing, I guess if you'd like, let you see this action first as the Umbera is driving, evades one. The Umbera retains the possession, has some space to locate Kirkic. Kirkic, good attempt, but out of play. Volkan from center back. Corbello around the corner. First time forward. Kirkic couldn't control it. Volkan spins away. Najim. Saki. Very two-footed player, has to find his teammate and does so. Falanga. Sabovic was sliding in. Yasir dispossessed. Andros Bauer now on the top of the box. Papucci out to greet him. Koshruba tries to just flick it over towards Falanga, who's had some space to work with. Saki elects for the pass backwards. Little loose, and Balkan again has to intervene. Najim, Corbello. Forwards towards the captain. Papucci goes to ground and gets enough. Throw in for New York Ukrainians. So, I believe that's Sabovic who's gone down. Certainly not what Sandzak need at the moment, but he's back up on his feet, which is a good sign. Yasir, deflection, and the throw in again. See some limbering up on the Sandzak bench, actually. Hopefully that's not an issue for Sabovic. Just keep an eye out on that. I believe Elijah is just going through some routine there. Keep an eye out on that. We resume with a throw-in. Flung in towards the box. A shot comes in, and an immaculate opening goal from Federico Corbello. The point of difference. Long throw-in, second ball, and he lashed his effort into the upper 90 to open the scoring for the New York Ukrainians. After a slight lull in play there, the quickly taken long throw-in caused trouble for Sandzak defense. And Corbello with an outrageous strike to open the lead, open the scoring, for his side. Substitution wasn't for Sabovic. A shot from the halfway line. We've seen it once on this very pitch. Let me take you back to the Anis Merkulic goal from the halfway line against Kelmedi a couple seasons back. This time Kirkic tried his luck from from kickoff. Possibly tried to catch out Varisco, but they do have a throw-in. Thrown in towards Koshruba. Shakreli forwards. Actually, a couple substitutions have entered for Sandzak. Dakic also on with the number 15. Just some alterations after conceding the first goal. Kirkic flat, possibly training ground. Sabovic got a good contact on it, ricocheted off some bodies, and another set piece. That probably was a routine from the training ground, as Kirkic only rose one hand, possibly assigned to his captain. Let's see how this delivery will be. Kirkic without whip. The referee's whistle. We'll just go over to have a word about something he didn't like in the 6-yard goal mouth. Koshruba also coming back to defend this set piece after the referee discusses. Calling over Sabovic. Still going at it. Goes to show you how important this game is. Of course, like we mentioned, for both sides, 3 points are of a vital importance. Referee still in dialogue with the players. Now his whistle. Kirkic's delivery to the second post. Malia was underneath. Now they can break free on a bit of transition. He's found by his center forward. And another stoppage. A lot of stoppages, actually. Here's the issue here now. Sabovic has gone over again. Calling over Papucci, I believe. It's all happening here. Another lecture. Both assistant referees are also on the pitch to help articulate the situation. I'm not exactly sure about what, possibly about the last set piece or the subsequent one. More discussion. Coach Hot also on the pitch. Maybe a bit of an impromptu timeout for both sides, actually. Now the referee's gone over to the sidelines to continue. I'm not sure about what. However, this does give us a moment to remind you guys that today's Game in Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. The air case uses antimicrobial technology to block smell, making odor-free car rides, and houses. Salt is offering Game in Frame community an exclusive discount with our QR code to get 10% off. Keep it fresh. So stoppage. And both sides have gone over towards the benches. Not really the best thing for the players in a cold, brisk day like this. Try to sort out what the issue was. Seeming that the ball is just hammered up into the sky. And both sides have gone over towards their respective benches. The referees still side by side. Can't really clarify what happened. We do know is there was a couple of back-to-back corners. Something presumably was said and or taken out of context, if you'd like, and we have a stoppage in play. Papucci has gotten over to the bench now, and I see him removing his shirt. Didn't see any cards brandished in this whole situation, so we'll just if and when we restart, we'll just have a quick glance at the numbers again. And we remain stagnant. as we have another moment, let's just refresh about the top four, which games of importance that will be played this week. Of course, this one of them, as New York Ukrainians find themselves in a lead through a delicious Corbello effort. Tomorrow, Polonia will be taking on Manhattan Kickers. New York International will take on Kid Super Samba, and Central Park Rangers 2 will take on Hoboken 2. Seems as if both sides are re-entering the pitch. And the referee So the numbers are still equal. Nobody was sent off after this stoppage of play. We're back underway here. What possibly happened, we will find out later, but the importance is the game has resumed 10 on 10, and the only thing that I note is Papucci is no longer on the pitch. So a tactical change, if you'd like, a forced one or whatever the case may be for Sandzak. They do, however, have to find a riposte after Corbello's opening effort. Shakreli. Companion. There is the goal scorer. Falanga with the chest. Corbello. Stood up by Martovic. Companion. Certainly going to be a lot of added time after the stoppages. Gonzalez finds Kirkic. The Umbera through. First touches behind him a bit. The Umbera lengthening his stride and scoring a beauty to equalize. Sandzak's riposte at a perfect time. The Umbera's first touch just evaded him a bit, but his sheer pace and athleticism alongside a clinical finish equalizes for Sandzak. Falanga. Najim. Corbello. Little ball roll. Najim. Martovic got a touch on it. Kirkic. Free kick. Dangerous position for Corbello and Falanga. It's going to be the latter indeed. Falanga will stand over the dead ball. Balkan has gone up. He's loitering towards the second post now. Good service is a requisite, of course. Falanga whips it towards the second post, kind of looping delivery. Kirkic gets underneath it. And the throw in for Sandzak. Volkan, good touch. Gonzalez. Ceccarelli. Falanga, flag is down. There is Dominic Falanga teasing one towards the second post, cleared away, gets the second ball. Falanga floats. Somalia on the top of the box. At the end, a couple of Sandzak bodies and it ricocheted off the referee. In a sense, the action will be halted. We restarted with a drop ball for Sandzak, of course, the last team to touch it before striking the referee. They will be presented the possession. Volkan. So 2 sizzling strikes of the football and a bit of stoppage. Free kick towards the center forward Koshruba. Yassir has to clear, but up and under. Ball reached the clouds and came back down. Koshruba, neat feet. A couple 50-50s there. Falanga. Dominic Falanga towards his captain. Bauer entering the box. And Nivkovic out to collect. Toss it forward towards his fullback. Ceccarelli off Corbello. Kirkic, Makic, Bauer. A lot of 50-50s, a lot of duels here. Certainly the importance of matches known by both sides. Falanga spreads. Koshruba has to go all the way back to his center back. Kirkic. An opportunity now for Diombera. Saki did enough, and the goalkeeper stretching and can't clear it out. Corner kick for Sandzak. With in whip to the first post, and on the side netting it went. Saki. Banyan. Good press by Gonzalez. Balkan floats. Somalia controls with the chest. And yellow card. So the referee is keeping an infringement on, I believe, Sabovic, and also booked him. So free kick in dangerous area. The ball was played wide to Hardestani, but the referee's whistle at the same time. Nonetheless, we've entered in the 45th minute. Of course, we'll see how much stoppage time there's going to be after a couple of delays. More important thing is this free kick now, with a specialist over that ball. Right-footed option is Corbello. Left-footed option is Bauer. Certainly in this angle serves the lefty, or maybe one will flick it to the other to change the angle. Nivkovic has constructed a four-man wall. It's also indirect. Flicks it, and Nivkovic has to sort his feet. Good change of direction from the goalkeeper. Indeed, it was an indirect free kick. Saki has to lengthen the stride and nod back to his goalkeeper. Didn't get a signal for how much stoppage we'll have. We'll just have to see that out as the minutes trickle past the 45 now. Balkan towards Koshruba. Sabovic, was on a yellow, has to be correct. Offside. Martovic. Shakreli. Back to Nivkovic. Yasir, who's slotted in at center back. Of course, after the stoppage, Papucci was not on the pitch anymore, isn't on the pitch anymore. Diambera stood up by Bauer. Makic, signature Makic, not offside. Certainly a good run from Gonzalez, but the pass was overhit. Falanga. A lot of neat, intricate touches. Falanga, Bauer's movement ahead of him. Sabovic, great defending and clears his lines. Balkan first. The second ball falls to Najim. Falanga again. Twinkle-toed, but free kick. An array of options stood over the set piece. Koshruba, Corbello, Saki, Somalia, as Koshruba steps away now. And so too Saki. It's going to be dinked over the top towards Koshruba. Cleared away by Sabovic. Saki last man back. Pressed by Kirkic. Goalkeeper is indecisive a bit, but dispossessed by Dakic. Dakic cuts it back. Kirkic out of play. Goal kick. 3 minutes into added time was what the referee just articulated, with 7 more. So long story short, there was 10 minutes added on to this first half. About 7 more minutes left to play in this first half. 1-1. The Corbello opener riposted by Diambera. Santiago Gonzalez finds Shakreli. Shakreli first time towards the middle of the pitch, and now furthermore back, the center backs exchange. Makic, first time backwards. Floated over the top. Artestani. Najim. Koshruba made a run and just checked his movement. Najim floats it over. Bauer. Yassir's touch. Falls to Kirkic. First time towards the Umbera. Need bit of intervention there, and a necessary one from Balkan. Possession falls for the New York Ukrainians. Corbello. Saki, Falanga. Makic gets a toe on the ball. Shakreli. Linked over. And back to Nivkovic. Just needing some options ahead of him. Finds a line splitting pass to Makic. Shakreli will float diagonally. Underneath it is Kirkic, who lines one up from a fair way away. A wobbling effort. Just about a meter past the goalpost, and a thumbs up of approval for the diagonal service he was presented with. Spun, shot, and had the goalkeeper stretching a bit. Quick restart. Falanga tries to athletically control, and now bullishly tries to win the possession, but Shakreli stood still. Sabovic. Certainly maybe halftime is needed for both sides now, just to rethink and recover a bit for certainly what's going to be a very intense last 45 minutes. Poked away towards the Umbera. Can Sandzak find a second moments before the first half ends? Deflected. Corner kick. Kirkic's delivery, cleared once and cleared twice. An opportunity for a break now. It's a 2-on-2. Somalia has Falanga to his left. Jinks onto the left foot. And Sandzak bodies hustled back in time to get the numbers back. Najim slips a bit. Finds his footing and finds his pass. yellow card for Somalia. Some seconds possibly left in this first half. Sabovic over the top towards the Umbera. Artestani on his chase. The referee's assistance flag is risen, spotted by the referee. Loose, Kirkic is on it, Corbello. Had to get back and prevent Kirkic from nibbling past the goalkeeper, who came out to collect it and subsequently won his side a free kick. Kirkic just showing the referee what occurred and is now booked for that. A game of a first half rather of many stoppages, but two very impressive goals. Just as has to be a bit of flow in the second half. So Corbello will clear lines. Possibly last seconds, last free kick. Maybe this shall be quickly taken. Makic will be booked. Certainly, maybe it's, like we mentioned, time for a halftime discussion or two, but first Sandzak have to defend this dead ball. Corbello over it. Center backs have Balkan, has gone up. Saki stays next to the man who delivers the free kick. Delivered towards Falanga, over. Gonzalez flicks. Center back to center back there it was. Balkan teased it into the area. Kirkic has some space. Corbello doing some defending. Goalkeeper has to clear lines. Indeed, he does. And that is the halftime whistle here at Randall's Island Field. 75. A blistering cold day, but a fiery match. Certainly a first half of, like we mentioned, a couple of stoppages, but a couple beautifully taken goals. Corbello opened the scoring for his side, riposted by Diombero's athletic movement and delicate finish. Halftime here at Randall's Island Field, number 75. Sandzak 1, New York Ukrainians 1.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game and Frame we know Every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Bissell. And look at that recovery defense from Zabre, and look at that skill to beat Shaheen as well.
Still with Paxton. Paxton to toward Dagan. Dagan inside the 18-yard box. Dribbles away from 2, 3. Dagan! Goal for Brooklyn United!
Touch and hit low into that far post. What a strike from the Alloy man. Derek Ramirez gets Alloy on the board.
Charnas. Morales trying to get it in behind, and he is in behind. Atamengwe with a beautiful, delicate touch to open the scoring for Manhattan Celtic.
The hurdle comes through. Another tackle here from Bildy. Another tackle from him as well, and a double time special.
Munoz has moved out to the right. Rio, just enough of a touch back heel. Cook Jr. could be a shot for Tato Gomes. 1-0. His 9th goal of the season for Tomas de Andrado Gomes. Oh, now Campos. Campos is through. Diego Campos. It's around the keeper. And he scores for Galicia's first goal of the game. Diego Campos.
Rahi looking for the ball while he's in an offside position though. Pastrana gets past one with a cheeky little ball through the legs of the defender.
Harasabovic sends it long for Kurcic. He chests it down, has a shot over the head and into the net. What a goal! Incredible work to tie this game for Sandzak. It's level at 1.
Welcome back, guys. Referee's blast of the whistle for the resumption of this very, very interesting matchup. As we've seen in the first half, it had a bit of everything. We remain at 1-1, of course. Savchin, Koshruba, Sabovic. Saki gets across and clears lines. Flung in. Cleared away. Double deflection. Out of play for a Sandzak throw-in. Certainly a freezing day here. Which of these two sides can warm up the atmosphere, if you'd like, in this second half? 3 points certainly on the cards for both sides after a stalemate in the first half. Makic slips. Nikaj will collect. A couple of rotational changes, if you'd like, at halftime for Sandzak. Gonzalez has gone through the middle. Diambera, of course, still stationed on that left-hand side. Kirkic playing in behind. Very fluid team, of course. Can mix and match if you'd like. And Nivkovic calmly to his captain. Sabovic. Falanga. Najim finds the second ball. Corbello. Ardestani. Floated towards Corbello. Federico Corbello's movement. It's going to remain in play, ever just. Clear towards the fullback, who gets his head to it. Corbello beaten to it by Sabovic. Goal kick. Once again, great defending from the man wearing the number 10, but of course playing center back. Captain Aris Sabovic gets a little hand slap from his goalkeeper. Just also exchanging a word with the other center back. And Nivkovic will get his team up the pitch. Nivkovic towards the halfway line. Elijah beaten to it by Corbello. Kirkic off his back. Bauer. Najim. Back to Bolkan. Martovic slides in. Najim wins it cleanly. Reverses it towards Falanga. Free kick. Saki to take. Floated. Popped high into the air. Koshruba can press it. And, he's forcing a defensive just cover there for the ball to be trickled out of play. Somalia will replace, I believe, Falanga. Of course, substitutions are in and out in this league, so I presume Falanga will just be getting a bit of a breather. The industrious Italian back on the bench for just a bit of water, if you'd like, and to gain his powers. Ball is flicked out for a throw-in. Corbello to the second post. The captain rose. Sandzak can transition the other way. No free kick given. Volkan. And back to Nivkovic. Nivkovic is having a word with the linesman. Thump his clearance forward, bypasses Saki, but he's adjudged to have fouled Santiago Gonzalez. Free kick. Makic. Quite central. Have to load aside or play it short. Sabovic lashing one out of play. A goal kick for Barisco. Play out of the back with Nadim Saki. Throw in. Peels. Full loaded. And back with the centre backs. Volkan has just to evade Kirkic's press, which was aggressive. (50-50). Man is down, and Kirkic will do the sporting thing and just raise his hand to alert the referee that the play shall be stopped. Quite nice to see the bit of sportsmanship from Kirkic. And another stoppage. Restart, of course, with the drop ball here right in front of us. Left for Makic, who will pump it forward. Saki underneath it. Bauer. Companion from left back. Kostruba again made a movement, but the final pass wasn't directed towards him. Here is Gonzalez. Santiago Gonzalez reverses. Nikaj with an appeal, but the outcome is a corner kick. Kirkic, who's had a couple of very good deliveries, causing havoc. Koshuba back to use his length to try to defend this. It's floated low, however, towards the top of the box. Makic deflected. Corner kick from the other side now. Seen a couple of those just to reverse it back towards the top of the box, where this time Makic was lurking, and the first time Sabovic connected with an effort after a cutback corner, as the box is certainly loaded. Everyone back to defend for the New York Ukrainians. Makic over it with in whip, first post cleared away. A lot of communication from Nivkovic just to make sure that they can transition and get in their positions if the ball is lost. But the outcome is another corner kick. Will one of these deliveries be the answer for Sandzak? Kirkic will leave it towards Makic's right foot. We've seen how devilish his deliveries are. Is this one of them? It's served in towards the second post. It ricochets off the post. It's hammered wide, skewed wide in the end by Kirkic. An exemplary delivery from Makic. It flicked off a post, a defender on the second post, and it fell to Makic, who just couldn't cleanly connect with his effort. Risco to clear lines. New Ukrainians ball. Gonna have a substitution for Sandzak. Martovic coming off. A reintroduction of Sabovic at center forward. That means Santiago Gonzalez will go off to the right hand side. So as you like, as they began their triplet, leading the line with Sabovic, Diambera left, Santi Gonzalez on the right, with Kirkic playing a little bit more advanced now in the second half, with Nikaj and Makic, if you'd like, a double pivot at times, but one will balance out the other with, of course, the ball retention. And Nivkovic will clear lines again, forwards towards Makic, who wins it. Sabovic using his body well, first time towards Diambera. Goalkeeper stays at home. Diambera cuts it, and Saki appeals. Just one moment, it's gonna be a goal kick. Sabovic link-up play was very good. Diambera is still down off the pitch. Saki with a great bit of defending in the end. And Varisco also comes up a little limp. Indeed, it's going to be a corner. Referee thought that the signal towards goal kick, it was just an action to see if Diambera was okay. Indeed, so Diambera's on his feet. Corner kick for Sandzak, and Varisco has gone down. Another stoppage. Now we're gone. We remain at 0-0. 1-1, excuse me. 0-0 in the second half. No goals in the second half. Of course, guys, today's Game in Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt Athletic have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag for the air case using antimicrobial technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering Game in Frame community an exclusive discount. Scan the QR code to get 10% off. Keep it fresh. Varisco is still down. Of course, no Robbie Webster today for their New York Ukrainians. Just see what the issue is with the goalkeeper. So, trying to get up and back down, so this might be a cause of concern. Another impromptu timeout. It's like a mini game of basketball with the stoppages we had, but important to just get your tactics on abroad. The importance is how the goalkeeper is for the New York Ukrainians, who's still down there. Mbera, I see, is over him, speaking with him. The referee has also suggested that he is going to keep time, more added time in this second half. Keep eye on that as goalkeeper is back on his feet. Makic, of course, still standing over the that ball. The referee is just instructing him to wait. Still wait. The goalkeeper is just readjusting his gloves. Gives a thumbs up to the referee, and here is Makic's delivery. Referee in the way, and this leads to a counterattack. It's a 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Yassir by himself, and the wrong decision was made. Had numbers filtering ahead. Somalia was advanced. Saki made a sprint from center back, but the wrong pass was intended. Yassir. Kirkic. Sabovic has stayed up for this action. Balkan gets a good chunk of him, and no advantage. Up and back on his feet. Makic teases it in. Varisco has to be careful. It's off the post. And off the line, incredible! Now appeals to the referee. An incredible action there. And may I say, we'll have another stoppage. What I can say is the referee's gone over to the linesman, presumably asking if one of those two efforts crossed the line. Certainly the first one did not. The question is probably the second, and I believe no is the answer. Another whistle. Flung in. Balkan underneath it. Kirkic. Makic. Teases it in. Another vertical delivery. Not enough length to it. Kirkic underneath it. Free kick in an appetizing position. Of course, the man trotting over to take is Makic. 68th minute here. We remain at 1-1. Makic, Varisco, comfortable enough. Quick bit of distribution to Koshruba as Najim ahead of him. Finds the Cypriot. Floats it furthermore to the captain, who's making a lung-busting run, continuing his movement, has Somali into the box. If he's spotted, it's reversed towards the 6-yard back, a little further back than the number 4 who made a run towards the 6-yard area. This is setting up to be a very appetizing last 20 or so minutes, possibly a little bit more, after the stoppage for some treatment for the New York Ukrainians goalkeeper. Certainly a lot of chunk of football left in a very, very pivotal match here. Another whistle, another free kick. Makic floats it towards Sabovic. Balkan needs dealing with appeals. Saki and Nikash collided in the box. Referee was on top of it and quickly waved away. Yassir. Andres Brouwer. Ardestani. Diambera back to defend. Ardestani finds the 97 again. A lot of duels, a lot of intensity at moments. Scrappy, but of course in a good way. The endeavor is certainly high, and of course the will to find 2 more points is even higher. At the moment, 1 point apiece, excuse me. 1-1. Remind you, Federico Corbello opened the scoring. And the answer came from Diombera in the first half. No goals in the second half. A couple of chances for Sandzak to find the lead. And a couple of interesting breaks for New York Ukrainians. Balkan. Najim slips. Of course, the pitch is certainly slippery and the footwear has to be precise. Somalia, who has a good left foot, this time lashes out of play. Question is now for New York Ukrainians, possibly when do you, if and when rather, you want to reintroduce Falanga. Certainly not on yet. I'm not sure, maybe he has a bit of discomfort, but we continue with the throw in towards Sabovic. Kirkic going over to double. Free kick. Referee on top of the situation. Corbello. Diombera going over to press Artistani, who will float it to Koshruba. The bounce of the ball just spins the other way. Here to Sabovic. Diombera on the shoulder of the fullback. It's floated into the other channel. Kirkic. Balkan high and out for corner kick. Certainly this has been an interesting route for Sandzak. A couple of very well taken set pieces has caused havoc. One moment of quality is certainly a necessity here, as well as New York Ukrainians to defend this and transition the other way, of course, as we've seen a couple times. Very dangerous on transitions. The referee just signals for the whistle. Kirkic over with outswing. Kirkic to the penalty spot. Out of play for another corner kick from the other side. "74 minutes here at Randall's Island. Will we have another goal in this very hotly contested matchup?" Makic devilishly again to the second post. Great defending in the end. Cleared out towards Kirkic. Throw in for Sandzak as another player is down. Flung in. Cleared away. Elijah back. Somalia on the press. Yasir can go furthermore backwards to Nivkovic with his left foot. Najim now in the center circle. Corbello. He's offside in the end. Nivkovic cleans up the situation just to be certain. Flag went down, then it went back up. But an experienced goalkeeper like Nivkovic had his say all his own just to clean up the situation and to ask the questions later. Najim. Reverse towards Bauer, who keeps it in. No, he does not. Out of play. Throw in. Nivkovic clears. Gonzalez, Najim underneath it. Corbello leaves it towards the winger who's a bit in field now. Neat touches to retain the possession. Overhit. Reverse from Corbello, neat idea, but dispossessed. Another slip there. Good poise from Sabovic. They can get around these tight corners. Nikash has some space. Kirkic, the fullback, is adventuring forward. Kirkic is behind them. Elijah tries to reverse it to Kirkic. It's like a game of basketball at times with the amount of transitions. Somalia will continue. Sabovic will box out, if you'd like to use a phrase, but certainly the Umbera now. Saki high, not enough clearance. The Umbera with poise and certainty lashes it in for Sandzak's second. Saki's clearance popped into the air. The Umbera used his body, and with a beautiful finish, finds the second goal for Sandzak in a very important time, as we've just entered the 78th minute. In all that, another yellow card was brandished to Elijah. 12 minutes left plus whatever the man in the middle wants to add on. The Umbera at the double. Artistani underneath it, good defending. Corbello, Kirkic, Sabovic. It's certainly stretched. Gonzalez runs out of pitch. Yes, he does. Quick whistle and a quick restart. Free kick. And Sabovic will take the yellow. Trying to give his hand. Now there's the nice to see, and a hug between the two. Certainly nice to see a game of this importance. We've said it many times how, you know, it's much more than a game of 3 points. It's certainly in moments very intense, but a beautiful type of intensity from both sides that we've seen. The Umbera now on a hat-trick, I remind you. Kirkic, late run into the box, was maybe lining one up. Sabovic, dispossessed now. They can transition the other way. Koshruba is between the two center backs. And the referee, who had the good view on the action, gives the ball to Sandzak. Artistani. Artistani, Corbello, Bauer stoops, Balkan will pump it forwards, and it's probably just gonna trickle out of play. Indeed so. Corbello opened the scoring in the first half. Diambera equalized, and just some minutes ago found the second for his side. Sandzak 2-1 to the good in this very important matchup. Of course, you can think the next matchup will come in about 2 weeks' time, so a chance possibly to get some players that aren't on the pitch today back on the pitch if for whatever reason they are unfit to play today. Of course, no Martin Dekanovic today for Sandzak, and we see Sabovic through the line. We've seen Gonzalez at the 9. So a lot of mixing and matching, of course, from both sides, as well as New York Ukrainians, who deputized Varisco in their goal instead of the usual Robbie Webster. But this is the beauty of the game, finding solutions in critical moments. And the critical moment is now. New York Ukrainians have to riposte. They're in possession now through Saki. Nikaj, Diambera, Kirkic. Will just hold it a bit, waiting for some support. Kirkic reverse, left cleverly. Maratovic! 3! Sensational Sandzak. And that, timing-wise, is what we can say all the money for Sandzak, who were trailing at one moment and now are 2 goals to the good. Lots of congratulations and bravos from the sideline, and now have some last minutes to try and hold on to their lead now as New York Ukrainians look for one of the 2 goals back that are necessary. Bauer continuing his movement, one of the most impressive players on the pitch. Somalia, top of the box. Koshruba doesn't get clean contact. It's coming back and forth, bobbling a bit. Corbello bobbing and weaving and toe poked out. Somalia will retain. Saki has to be careful. Line splitting. Corbello, excuse me. Picks up his head. Sabovic clears. Out of play for a throw-in. There's going to be a substitution for Sandzak. Sabovic off and Gonzalez back on. So he'll again play through the line. And back in. It's in. Unbelievable. And an equalizer. Aristani has the ball in hand. And back we go to the center circle. One more is needed for an equalizer. That's certainly going to bolster the belief of the New York Ukrainians. A snapshot that beat Nivkovic 3-2. Grandstand finale. Makic will lift. Diambera falling over. A shot comes in and lashed wide. Certainly a lot of chances towards Somalia. Of course, Sharuba is offside. '86th minute here at Randall's Island. Sandzak has had their lead cut to 1, 3-2. One goal separates the two sides. A free kick. Certainly the intensity levels have risen now in the last moments. Saki will load the box, presumably with a service. Saki floats above everyone, and the corner kick for Sandzak to defend. Somalia urgently over. Possibly will wait for Balkan and Saki to enter the box as well. Some defending needing to be done for Sandzak. Hardestani checks to the ball. It's played towards him. And the free kick now. If you'd like, in a better area to serve it into the box. Bauer coming over. Exchanging a quick word with Somali, who's gone into the box. It's left towards the captain. Teased in by the captain for the second post, free kick. And that action is petered out. Nivkovic doing the ideal thing just to clear the lines here. Diambera. Another throw in. We just had a quick glance of the watch. We'll see how much stoppage time he'll add in this second half. Saki on the stretch. Gonzalez will not run out of pitch, will retain it and serve it towards Kirkic. Balkan will clear. Elijah has to be careful. Again, a very good industrious press. Better play. Left fullback has trotted over to his right hand side to take the throw in. 6 minutes is the answer to how much added time we'll have. It's flung in, nodded towards Balkan, who is in the heart of the box, cleared away in the end. The Umbera can run away with possession. Najim goes to ground, free kick, and yellow card from the referee. Diambara also just needing a moment to get back on his feet. He's back up, hobbling a bit, however. But more importantly, won his side a very important free kick just below the halfway line, and we've entered just about. In some seconds we will enter the 6 minutes of added time. We've entered rather the 6 minutes of added time. See, the New York Ukrainians can create a last chance to salvage an equalizer. A very good game of football, 5 goals. Separated, however, by the second strike from Diambara. New York Ukrainians got one back to set up this frantic finale. Will we have one last melodrama here? Corbello, Bauer, Corbello continues on the top. Smashed off Yashir. Sandzak with the poise that is needed and the clearances towards the halfway line. Balkan. Martovic, the scorer of the all-important third goal. Kirkish was just yelling at him to get back in position. Towards Koshruba, and it's not a back pass, more importantly in the grasp of Nivkovic. Will thump it forwards towards the halfway line. Nikaj, Kirkic. Taking their time, certainly, with every throw and every dead ball. Every action is taken care of well. Of course, you would understand the situation. Minutes away, and the shot comes in towards the goalkeeper, who's had a bit of spillage. They want a corner, and they will get one. Four minutes gone, exactly 2 minutes for the promised 6 minutes of added time. Maybe we'll add some seconds on top of it, as there's been a couple of stoppages in play. Here is when the ball returns, rather. We'll have a corner kick, possibly time just to locate the corner flag and to keep the possession there for Sandzak. This is exactly where you would want the ball in the last seconds of a game, as far away as it can be from Nivkovic and his goal post. Makic is already standing over the corner flag just to receive, presumably, the touch from Kirkic. There it is. Corner flag time. Dinked over neatly to Kirkic. Goes over in the box. And on go New York Ukrainians. Full loaded. Diambara double, and a third from Martovic for Sandzak. Remind you, Corbello actually opened the scoring in the first half. New York Ukrainians led 1-0. 3-goal riposte from Sandzak, and New York Ukrainians added one to their tally to stand up this finale here. A throw in for New York Ukrainians. Can they get the ball down the pitch one more time and create something? One set piece, one long service. It's not the final whistle. It's a redo if you'd like, because it's a Sandzak throw-in. Again, exactly where you want the ball. We said in the pre-match that the next two games are absolutely pivotal for Sandzak. This certainly was one of them, a difficult game at that. They're seconds away from big 3 points. Their next game, I remind you guys, against Polonia. Job not finished here. However, play for a linesman possibly is flagged down. Sabovic was asking for a corner, but we have to get back now. Thumped forwards. Yassir. That is the final whistle. A huge 3 points for Sandzak, coming behind from 1-0 down. Final score here at Randall's Island Field, 75 on this blistering night. A sensational win for Sandzak. Final score 3-2. Stay tuned for interviews.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Bissell. And look at that recovery defense from Zabre, and look at that skill to beat Shaheen as well.
Still with Paxson. Paxson to toward Dagan. Dagan inside the 18-yard box. Dribbles away from 2, 3. Dagan! Goal for Brooklyn United!
Welcome back, guys. I'm here joined by Eldin Markovic and Danilo Nivkovic. I do my best with the pronunciations. Let me begin with you, Danilo. Very important game today for, of course, we said in the pre-match, your next 2 games are very pivotal for the title race. Today was a tough opponent in New York Ukrainians, and your next game after this is against Polonia. Talk to me a little bit about what was said before the match, and given how important this matchup is for you guys.
Yeah, as you said, very important match, especially because we are still in the race for the title. So basically, we knew that this game is like we were imposed to win this game. So tough game. We were short on the roster. We were, I would say, a little bit shaped up because of the past round draw with Hoboken. So we knew that it's a must win for us tonight, and we were nervous at the start, which cost us the first goal. After that, we consolidated very well, especially in the back, started playing from the back and did a great job, scored 3 goals, and just conducted this game to the end in our favor.
Very well said. Of course, you said about the 3 goals. I heard that there was a first goal for a certain player on this team, your first goal for the first team, Eldin, and a very important goal to find the second. 2 goals up. At one moment it was 3-1. They ended up getting 1 back in the end to try to press at the end. Talk to me a little bit about when you saw the ball fall back to you. You made no mistake with your finish, and how was that feeling like scoring for the first team?
All right, so it felt really good scoring for the first team, and when I got the ball, I saw I was in the box, and I just took it. I just hit it. However, yeah.
A very important goal, of course. Then at 3-1, they got 1 back. Talk to me a little bit about what those moments were. Of course, you said a very important game. The last 10 or so minutes in the match, of course, you also guys could have scored a 4th and sealed the game, of course. Is that a little bit about mix and match, or we do what we do to get over the line, or at the same time, let's score the 4th? Just talk to me a little bit what's going on in that kind of conflict.
So the perfect end of the game would be if we just kept it on 3-1. But it's soccer, and these things happen. Like good shot. I was covered, didn't see the ball at the start. So it's just the way it goes. Then after that we could have scored 4-1. They could have scored another one, also on us, because the game just became very open. They tried to attack, we tried to defend and take the counters on them. So it's just the way soccer goes. In the end, we are. I hope they recorded this.
They did. You good? You good? Back? Okay, lastly, a final question, of course. Week off for the Easter break, no games this Sunday. What's the preparation like for the next big game against Polonia?
We're going to train. We're going to put our mind to it. We know that we're in the title race, so we know that it's an important game, and we're going to try our best to win. We're going to work hard on the field, and yeah, we're going to try to take away 3 points.
And lastly, of course, we always discuss this. Your goals are what for the season? The remaining games of the season.
Yeah, since the start, we are trying to get the first place, to get promoted to the EPSL, because this team has a quality, this team has a great players, great individuals. So yeah, since the start, that's our goal, and that's how we approach every game.
Very well said, guys. Congratulations on a very big 3 points. Enjoy your next week off, and we'll see you guys back on the 27th against Polonia.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Congrats, well done. Well done. That does it for us here at Randall's Island. Final score, Sandzak 2, New York Ukrainians. Sandzak 3, New York Ukrainians 2. Thank you guys for tuning in.